If you watch AI on YouTube, it usually looks effortless. You type a perfect prompt, get a flawless answer, and a problem is solved in 5 seconds. My experience this week looked very different. Hardly anyone is documenting the actual friction, the messy, frustrating reality of what happens when artificial intelligence collides with raw professional data. So I decided to test it myself. I committed to running my entire professional week's workload through 3 systems: ChatGPT Plus Advanced and NotebookLM. The parameters for this test were strict: 1 researcher, 3 competing AI systems, 7 days to see what they could actually handle. I didn't want to make another software review. I wanted to discover exactly what breaks when these tools are forced into the trenches of a genuine scientific laboratory. The stress test began on Monday. My first task was auditing 36 student econometrics assignments, which meant grading over 100 separate Excel workbooks. Look at this diagram. This represents the volume of files I had to process. Checking every single sheet for hard-coded values and mathematical errors manually takes 12 to 14 hours. To solve this, I used ChatGPT Plus to engineer a custom workflow. We paired Python scripts with the AI to automatically unpack the zip archives, open the workbooks, and verify the formulas line by line. But we immediately hit a wall. When I tried to run structured file operations through Gemini, the system unexpectedly blocked the request. I had to step in, manually override the process, and redesign the workflow on the fly. These models handle repetitive verification tasks with precision. We reduced a 12-hour workload to just 1 hour. But you have to keep an expert human in the loop to navigate the sudden system refusals. By midweek, the focus shifted to historical research. This is a wide-angle street view of Lublin, Poland. We were trying to reconstruct the 1914 campaign of Austro-Hungarian prisoners in this exact region. I loaded hundreds of pages of raw, translated diaries into NotebookLM. It buckled. The system struggled to process the volume of text and lost its chronological coherence entirely. The visual generation models also struggled. Look at this source photograph. Notice the distinct helmets, the specific lapel insignias, and the heavy coats on these 6 soldiers. The AI failed to replicate these precise details. As we pan down to the specific boots, leg wrappings, and rifles, you see exactly what the models missed. Without strict human constraints, the AI simply hallucinated uniforms from different eras. The fix was building an AI ecosystem. I used ChatGPT to design the structure of the investigation, NotebookLM strictly to synthesize the raw text, and Gemini to generate our reference datasets. Single models fail under the weight of complex historical investigations. Success demands a multi-tool pipeline, where the human researcher remains the final arbiter of factual truth. Towards the end of the week, I turned the models inward to run an audit on my own YouTube channel's analytics and positioning. I avoided generic prompting. Instead, I fed the models raw analytics data to see if they could spot structural errors in my thumbnails and pacing. This chart illustrates the AI's findings. It overlaid my high, stable academic authority metric against a dropping viewer retention curve, exposing a widening delta I hadn't noticed. Artificial intelligence is most effective when used as a rapid sounding board for diagnosing structural flaws, rather than as a generator of generic growth hacks. After 7 days of grading, archiving, and analyzing, the dynamic in my digital lab has changed. These tools have transitioned from trial subscriptions to integrated, deeply flawed, and now essential parts of my process. This week defined my leverage factor. Expert judgment remains the final filter, but the AI now processes the bulk of the manual noise before it reaches me. The primary change is a redistribution of time. Instead of executing mechanical tasks, I spend my hours making decisions based on what the machines have surfaced. Last week, I was hunting for hard-coded Excel formulas and cross-referencing paper archives. Today, I'm building logic gates for workflows and auditing historical hallucinations. The work is more complex, but the volume is significantly higher. If you want to see the reality of human-AI collaboration, the failures, the friction, and the successes, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next field report.